installing Backtrack on your local machine. Well, it's a very fairly easy step. Just you really need to grab on a few tools and then you are good to go with Backtrack. For that purpose, you're going to have to get into the Backtrack website, that is the official website of backtracklinux.org. And then after that you can go into the download section and download the version of Backtrack. But if that is not available, which means that the current version of Backtrack is not available in the download section, you can get into the kali.org website where you can get the new version of Backtrack. Well, Kali Linux is actually the latest version of Backtrack, but the name has been changed from Backtrack to Kali Linux. It contains all of the same tools which also the Backtrack contain. And there's nothing very unusual that would be actually available in Kali Linux, but remember one thing, that Kali Linux would contain updated tools and might be containing some new tools also, which Backtrack would not contain. But as far as the other old tools are concerned, Backtrack would definitely have that. So Kali Linux is nothing but the newest and the latest version of Backtrack. So you can download it from the kali.org if you don't want to download the older version of Backtrack. Currently, I'm using the Backtrack Genome version, and I have already downloaded it from the old track, but you must download the Kali Linux from the download section. After that, the second tool what you're gonna need is the VMware workstation. It is available in my.vmware.com/web/vmware/downloads. And then you're going to have to get into the bottom section of desktop and in-user computing. After that, what you need to download is the VMware workstation. Well, the VMware player would also work fine, but the VMware workstation contains a lot more features than VMware player. You can download the product, even you can buy it, or you can download the trial version of it. The drivers and tools would be a plus point if you download and install it along with your VMware, because sometime you're going to copy or you want to copy some files or folders into your Backtrack operating system from your local operating system, that is Windows. Then you're going to need the drivers and tools in order to copy it from the VMware operating system into your local operating system, and then from your local operating system to your VMware operating system. So after that, grabbing on all of these tools and then downloading the VMware workstation and then installing it in your local computer, you will get such kind of icon. Well, I'm using actually the older version of VMware. I'm not that much updated, but it doesn't matter whether you install the latest version or older version. The working mechanism and the working scenario is same. So after installation of VMware workstation, it will create a desktop icon, and then I'm just going to double click to open it. After you open it, you will be confronted with similar kind of screen. So this is what we have, the VMware workstation version 7. This is the pretty old version, but it is working fine for me. But it doesn't matter that you really don't need to download the latest version. You must download the latest version in order to get yourself updated. So now that we have the VMware workstation 7 version, we can now easily install Backtrack in this by two ways. If you have downloaded the ISO file of Backtrack, then it would be very good one, because if you downloaded the ISO file, you're going to have to go on with the new virtual machine process by clicking on the new virtual machine process, then leaving it as typical, click on the next, and then you're going to have to provide the way that where your Backtrack is installed. If that is a live CD, then you're going to have to point that live CD in here. But if that is the ISO file, you can just browse on your computer and just select the ISO file in here. And then after that, you can just click on next, 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 and your ISO file will be installed in your computer. But there is one disadvantage in the ISO file, that whenever you install the ISO file in VMware workstation, it will give you the half image, not the full image of the operating system. So for that, you're gonna have to download the VMware version, that is the VMware snapshot for the VMware workstation. But that VMware image is not available in the official website of Backtrack. For that, you're gonna have to tweak something. You're gonna have to go beyond the boundaries. For that, I'm just gonna show you. You just need to get into the piratebay.se/torrent, and this is the link of the image. I have found out the best and I have downloaded for myself. This is a pretty large image that is 2.39 gigabits. And then we have the Backtrack 5 R3 Genome VMware image 32-bit. Well, this is a very secure file. You can just get this by downloading the BitTorrent client in your local machine, and then after that you can just click on this button and it will begin to download in your BitTorrent client. After downloading the Backtrack 5 R3 Genome VMware image, then it will be very handy for you, as it will give you a full image of the operating system. It will give you a full scenario of the operating system rather than just giving you the half scenario of the operating system when you download the official ISO file from the official Backtrack website. So after downloading that image, what you need to do is to get into that image. So this is the image I have extracted. This is Backtrack 5 R3 Genome VM32 in my local disk E. If you double click on it, this is the extracted files. As you can see that it contains all of the extracted files which I really need for my Backtrack. But the main file is this one. As I'm using the 32-bit operating system, so this is actually going to be a 32-bit file. This is a 32-bit VMware image. So this one, what we have is a Backtrack 5 R3 Genome VMware 32 image, and we're going to be using this image in order to install it in our Backtrack. Well, the ISO installation is quite difficult or maybe take some time, but the VMware image installation is just as 2 steps. So let's get started. I'm just going to open the VMware. I have already opened the VMware in here. And then instead of clicking on the new virtual machine, I'm just going to open the open existing VM or team. And after that, I'm just going to browse through to the area where I have placed my Backtrack VMware and I have extracted the image out there. As I have extracted the Backtrack Genome version 32 in the local hard drive E, so I'm just going to double open it. And when you open it, as you can see that, I'm just going to get back into that folder. As you can see, there are a lot of different files like 001, 002, but when you open it in Backtrack, there is only one VMware 32 image that is actually pointing out to this one, as you can see that. So it will actually select the best file automatically without any further ado. And it is a VMware file, as you can see that, the VMX file. I'm just going to click on open. And as you can see that now I'm going to be directed into another scenario, as it is using the 768 MB memory of my computer, that is the 768 MB physical memory of my computer, and a 20 GB physical hard drive of my computer, and as well as the network adapter is NAT, Network Address Translation. It also contains the USB controller, which means that you can insert the USB while you are on in the Backtrack with the help of VMware and could copy the stuff from that USB file. It contains the display, which means the driver monitors, the video display drivers, and the sound card for detecting the sound inside the Backtrack. And as well as whenever you are going to insert any CD in your CD drive or DVD drive, the Backtrack will detect it when you have opened it inside the VMware. You can also change the size of your hard disk if you want more space for your Backtrack operating system by clicking on the Edit Virtual Machine Settings. And this scenario will be confronted. And as you can see that we have all these options. But if you just click on the hard drive, and as you can see on the right side, there is the current size 11.1 GB, system free is 52.7, and this is the maximum size used.